You are now listening to Eclectic Tongues. Today, yesterday, and tomorrow's music and culture tech. With The Alchemist Rose, Mac P, and Kojak.
What's up, everybody?
Happy birthday!
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, gosh.
What's up, beautiful world? This is Eclectic Tongues Radio. You listen to the voice of Mac P. I'm on the call with my co-hosts, my peoples, my family.
What's up? It's Alchemist Rose.
What's up? Say my name. It's Coach Easy, baby.
Oh, he's such a wild boy. All right, yo, that's what's up. Eclectic Tongues Radio, where we bring music, culture, and technology, our perspective, our insight, our gifts to the world. So, how's everybody doing?
It was good.
Oh, I keep saying no. Alchemist Rose.
I don't even know who that person is. You saying government names up in here?
With
and
all
today's the wrong show for that.
Yeah,
it's the wrong show for that.
This is the wrong show for that.
Alchemist Rose. So how's y'all week, yo? How was everybody's week?
I'm going to kill that on the post edit. I'm going to put a bleep in it.
That's right. I'll be giving out
government names up in here.
They looking for me.
Man.
Let me find out. Based on the topic, you might be an infiltrator.
Yeah. This is a world we're living in an
Matt
era.
P hashtag alternate facts.
Yeah. Fake news.
Fake news. Wrong.
That's a fighting word. So we had an interesting week. Huh?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Did. And matter of fact, I want to say Alchemist Rose a couple weeks ago came to visit me. And when she came to visit me, we did a little drops, we did a little photo shoot for the show, and then we had a special guest come in, this orange orangutan guy for president. All right, here we go.
I'm Donald Trump. I say not in a braggadocious way.
Fake news.
I've made billions and billions of dollars dealing with pussy all over the world, and I want to put
Tic Tacs just in case they start kissing her.
we make our country rich again.
False. We're gonna build a wall. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Wrong. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it.
That is wrong.
You can do anything.
Okay, so now that you just finished hearing our special guest, we're going to go ahead and pick up the show where we left off at. That's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
Okay, so our guest dropped some jewels, okay? So this week he was a busy dude, and he's turning the internet upside down, which leaves it for a great place for us for conversation. But on a whole, it really sucks. You know, he's turning all the progress and all the work that Obama did before he left office. He's repealing everything. And one of the things is the Privacy Act on the internet. So, what do you guys feel about having your privacy taken and that internet providers can easily sell your information? That they will have your financial information, they'll have your personal information, like how many children you have, ages of your children. They'll know what you're looking at on the internet. So for all you naughty dogs out there that make Pornhub your favorite, it's going to be out in the open. I mean, it just changes the face of how people will do business, how record labels will know what you have on your playlist for, like, or whatever you're Googling. If you're Googling lyrics, they'll know that. What does this mean for us? What does this mean for people?
One thing that doesn't mean one thing it means for me is that incognito window that's in Chrome doesn't mean a damn thing anymore. Don't mean anything. They still know what I'm looking at.
They know my Pornhub. Oh my God!
Black incognito is like, ha, don't mean anything. You know, you just fooling yourself. You know?
Yeah, man. They're gonna see that I've been searching online about my hump on my back. You know?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say those little midgets in thongs. I know you like to
there too.
at little people.
Yeah, man, it's a chooser because if you know people look up stuff, they go online, whatever. For a lot of people try to self-diagnose themselves. Sometimes they think they got something.
Yeah. I'm queen.
And just imagine, you know, you're just Googling some stuff, and then you find something that draws you into something else, and before you know it, they're collecting this data, and they're suspecting that you may have this or that. You know what I mean? Or it's crazy. Who wants that? And then that being sold.
Yeah, that's the part that gets me. Now this information is being sold, like, legally. Like,
right.
When you, like, Alchemist, when you brought up the Obama administration, you know, under the Obama administration was Tom Wheeler, who was the chairman of the FCC at the time. And he fought to keep the privacy of customers out of the hands of ISPs to, you know, sell them and you sell data and do as, you know, whatever these big businesses want to do. So the integrity of the consumers was left intact, was protected under these rights. Now it's been deregulated with the Trump administration. Now you have this guy, Pi. I think his name is Pac or Pi. I forgot his last name, but he's a chairman and he's a conservative. And now he's just putting his hands up and saying, "Hey, let's let these companies do what they want to do with, you know, with this information and you know, deregulate it." And so there's no one to protect the consumer anymore, you know. So now we're just at any type of, you know, I don't know, persecution or whatever judgment that these companies want to do, and we don't have any rights. We just lost our rights. And it's a damn shame because we don't have a government that cares. We're just looked upon as cattle.
No, that's right.
Right, we're numbers. That's it.
Yeah, we are. We're numbers that equate to big dollars for them.
Yeah, I coined the term, and I told Alchemist one time we're going to put out some merchandise on it, T-shirts called American Cattle. And basically that's what we are. We're American cattle. As soon as you're born into a system with a number that tracks you. It's like a tracking device, which is your social security number. And as soon as you're born, there's a debt on your head. And the clock just keeps on ticking. It's insanity.
It is insanity, and I think that until we don't want to be that cattle anymore, they're going to keep prodding us. They're going to keep moving us in the direction that they want us to go. And because I'm sure big government, they're doing some nasty, dirty things online that they don't want people to see. They're moving money. They're hiding money. They got other families. They're looking at little boys and girls on the internet. You know, so what protection do they get? Are they going to be completely omitted from this whole process?
Of course. They always are. It ain't no different. And that's a problem. Right. The problem is that for years, I mean, from even before Nixon, all these political parties, they all say the same message when it comes to voting. It's the same shit. And we're always on the end of the less, fortunate, less haves. It's the haves and have not, classism, et cetera, et cetera. It hasn't changed. And unfortunately, majority of people in America, and this is just my opinion, by the way, but I also agree with what's that guy that comes on TV? That Real Talk, I think it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, yeah. And he even says it. He says Americans are dumb. They're just they're dumb. They keep falling for the same shit.
Yeah,
same shit.
But it's not just Americans.
I mean, if somebody goes on YouTube and looks at a platform that ran, in the 70s or 60s and the platform today, it is the same shit, same message, same. I can do this for you, this and that, and what's always a constant theme is the poor is always this poor, and there's always this person that says that I can get you out of this if you vote for me to do this shit. I mean, come on, man. It's like the same used car salesman knocking on your door for the last 50, 60 years. It's like you deserve that shit.
And when has it been a time when?
No, go ahead.
When has it been a time where people stop falling for that? You know, like people revolted in the Boston Tea Party. You know, now where's that? Where's that energy? Where's that mindset that says no more? We don't want our government to do this to us. You know,
people are scared, man. They're scared. There's no more revolutionists. We're the revolutionists. No, there's no more.
I think there's a small percentage that might. And Alchemist says it right there. You have to be ready to die for your cause and be uncomfortable in order for a change to happen, that kind of real drastic change. If you're not ready to die, it ain't going to happen. That's period, because somebody's going to die.
I agree. Most of this era cannot fathom life without a phone in your pocket or in your hand. I mean, I grew up with like dimes in my pocket so I could stop and make a phone call. Like, all right, I'm telling my age, but yes, a phone call was a dime. And it's like, and now it's like, you know, people are just flipping out if they forget their phone at home, they go back home and get their phone because it's like, oh my God. I'm like, well, now you're 2 hours late. I needed my phone. I can't live without my phone. I'm like, why? They're like, what if something happens? And I'm like,
right.
Yeah, you know, like a lot of things happen in the world. Like anything can happen and doesn't mean you'll be able to dial. Like, I don't get it.
Right.
We lived the 70s, the 80s without a phone like at reach and in our pockets and stuff. You did what you had to do. You flagged somebody down on the road. You make it work. You know, we didn't have internet search at our fingertips and stuff like that. I mean, for God's sakes, when dial-up came on, people wanted to party in the streets like it was the best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
People can't fathom a life like that no more. Once they're behind it, they're behind it. They forget what it was like to not have a microwave.
It's funny you should say that. It's really funny you should say it because Skype, is now offering the capability for people to communicate without having a phone or any kind of, as long as you have your internet service. Now, with that net neutrality, the companies are controlling also will allow the control of the bandwidth. And so that can exclude some people who are really poor that kind of bandwidth, and so it cuts off the communication to them.
Right.
To other people in different countries.
Yeah, people.
So people don't realize that there's also other parts of that net neutrality. Like you was talking on as far as data and selling the data, but it's also about the pay-to-play for fast lanes for web and media companies that can afford it, and slow lanes for everyone else. So that's another aspect of net neutrality.
Yeah.
And in the New York Times, I'm sorry, the New York Times, it says supporters of net neutrality have insisted the rules are necessary to protect equal access to content on the Internet. Opponents said the rules unfairly subjected broadband Internet suppliers like Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, and Charter to a utility. So, I don't know. It's just up in the air where this is going now. And how does it affect us? Like you were saying, about our data being sold. And then also, if the Internet content becomes controlled and access to some of the existing cultural content might be closed, or content that ISPs have given a fast lane will be prioritized. This will prevent the building of new creative ideas using their previously accessible components as a foundation, thus limiting cultural growth. And that's from New Media Activism. And so it definitely stifles also our creativity. People like us doing blog talk radio will be censored, or we won't have the ability to reach certain users because they don't have that kind of internet speed, and it's really scary at this point.
Yeah, it's going to change life as we know it. Not that it's always a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just it should be our choice. And I feel like this vote is going on without us. Like, it's about us, but we're not included in that vote. And I feel like we are forgetting that in this country, we are employing these politicians to work for us on our behalf. But for some reason, we treat it as if we're working for them, and we have to stop that. Like, TMZ stopped, what's his name, Boone Rock from LMAFO, Party Rock dude, and he asked them about this, like, what do you feel? And he was like, well, there's a positive and a negative. As a consumer, it sucks for me, but as a business person, it's great for me, because now I can go and I can buy the information to know who's searching for, like, if I create a song that's called Star Rock, who's looking for stars, who's looking for rocks, who's looking for Star Rock, and he says, and then I can just target in on those particular people. Like, he's already thinking about how he can profit off of it. So if he is, who else is? Music-wise, in any industry, like, let's just think of any industry. You could take socks. Who's cold? Who has cold feet? Who's searching for, you know what I mean? And then they're going to target you, and they're going to bombard you, or they're going to redirect you to something that you weren't looking for at the time.
It almost sounds like, it's like a quick fix for him in his eyes that he's thinking, but it's just like somebody wanted to take steroids to work out to get big, but they don't know the long-term effects of it are negative. I found on the new media activism, they state, if the internet content becomes controlled and access to some of the existing cultural content might be closed, or content that ISPs have given a fast lane will be prioritized. This will prevent the building of new creative ideas using the previously accessible components as a foundation, thus limiting cultural growth.
Yeah, I think that's quite a point right there. It is going to limit growth. It's going to limit what people feel comfortable and free to do on the web.
Yeah, it says freedom of expression on the internet will be endangered. People who are using the internet to express their opinion to the public, like us, might not be able to reach society because of the internet provider's decision to discriminate against the content. That's insane.
Right.
That is insane.
Yeah, I mean, because what that does to people, think about the person that's going to be stifled from expressing how they feel. You get to, you have people second-guessing themselves and not really putting it out there what they believe. So you won't have a true, independent, free-thinking society. You have people. This is building, something like that movie from 1984, where you couldn't, you were oppressed by your government and you're not expressing yourself. So, and because you're afraid you're gonna be reprimanded,
That's right. So if you're in love with your goat, you can't say it out loud anymore and be proud about it.
Because the animal rights activists will be at your door. Bad.
PETA will be at your door.
Bad human. Bad human.
Bad. That's bad news.
Oh man.
But also, on another note, students. I mean, look. At the end of the day, the internet is like is now our free public library to the world.
Yep.
And you've got students who conduct their research, their projects, and different school tasks via the internet. And without the net neutrality, learning materials will not be equally available. And the limitation of access to all those resources could be damaging for kids and adults, for just that whole learning curve, because now they have colleges that are doing online courses. So this whole thing, and then people are still there are people training their kids in school. I mean at homes, homeschool training, and use the internet.
Good point.
we've got a lot of people affected that are going to be affected if this passes, and then it goes back to like keeping people. At the end of the day, it's just another form of oppression, and it seems like because of the fact of the internet and of all of these countries that are now starting to, people are starting to revolt. Even with the crash, like in Greece, where people were taking the streets, or things happening in Syria, all this stuff being televised through social media, through the internet. A lot of this stuff wouldn't be seen if this stuff is, if this passes through. It's
wow,
not.
That's true. That is true. Yep.
I think this is a way of also stopping the revolution. This is a way of them combating it in a different light.
Yep.
It's a silent assassin. That's the way I look at it.
It is. And then they could filter it. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just adding on to what you're saying about it's going against the globalization. We don't want to globalize the world and the nations together, because you want to keep people divided, and we won't be getting information. And we'll be thinking that the other side is, combating us, and we don't have anything in common.
Right.
And we do. It's creating separatism. It's not creating unity.
Exactly. Yeah, and then they're going to be able to filter in what they want us to see. So if they want to say we're in turmoil, we're only going to be able to see things that show that we are in turmoil. If they want us to believe that we should be against each other, they're going to show us things to pin us against each other.
Right.
And you know who's doing that already? It's funny because I just watched an episode, and even though I'm not a big fan of CNN either, but they showed that the people who were protesting against Russia, it shows a huge population that's against Putin, but yet the favorability rate was like 80-something% for Putin. So they're wondering how the hell is this happening? And the thing is, because they control the TV, and most of the people in that country are just, limited to the TV as a resource for information. So if you're controlling what's being seen, you're the propaganda machine. You're controlling the minds of those who are not self-aware and don't think for themselves and search for alternative resources. Yeah,
it's true. Like, have you guys heard about what's happening out here in Atlanta, where I'm at?
No.
We had a major bridge collapse, right? Like a highway.
Oh my God.
Like, what do they call them? Those above ground highways. It's like we call it spaghetti junction, because all the bridges kind of intertwine. And there was a fire.
Junction, right.
Yeah. And so there was a fire underneath one of the highways, the elevated highways. And the fire was blazing because they had some plastic conduits stored underneath there. And they just started going off, and it was a blaze that the fire department took hours to put out, and the heat was so intense that it collapsed the highway. So it collapsed that whole elevated bridge. And that was the news that we got on Thursday, right? Because this happened on Thursday. And so nobody is saying anything crazy about like, oh my God, terrorist attack. Nothing like that. They're saying like 3 homeless men started a fire, blah, blah, blah. So I'm listening to a local black radio station in the morning on my way to the gym, and then this woman calls and says, it's funny how nobody is saying that there was a package, that an unusual package that was dropped off not far from there to a building, and the police had to close off the entire street. She said, because I work right there and my building was affected. And then about 30 minutes later, there's this huge blaze. She's like, I mean, I'm screaming conspiracy, but I wouldn't if they would have made this mention on the news. How come this is completely not one of the programs out here, local news, have mentioned that issue had took place? And then now they're pinning it on 3 homeless people. See, so it's already like I think Max said earlier, like we're already being censored. We're already being watched because I find it so odd that this is not mentioned, that you guys didn't even, this is a major thing. Like, I mean, you know, roads closed, people almost got killed. How come you guys didn't hear about this? You get what I'm saying? Like, so we're already censored, and we're okay with it. And I'm not saying we're okay with it as a people, because if you don't know, you don't know, right? You can't fight for what you don't know. But as we become aware, shouldn't we fight? Shouldn't we be more, aggressive about what we want for these people that are paying us? If you had a gardener come to your house and you say, mow the lawn, plant the lilies, and clean out the grass when you're done. If they didn't do it, wouldn't you fire them? If they planted tulips instead of lilies, if they mowed and left the grass clippings, wouldn't you fire them? I say fire the politicians. They're not cutting our grass the way that we want. They're not planting lilies. Fire them.
Right, because they work for us.
I agree.
Exactly.
They work for us. They should be abiding to what we want and desire for our lives, because at the end of the day, they work for us. They want to keep their job. Write your congressman, let them know how you feel, or let them know, like, oh, listen, next term, you're not going to be here. Prepare to start finding another job, because I'm not voting for you, and my people are not voting for you too. So people organize. You know, I'm definitely advocating for people to, like, unite, have your meetings, group, congregate together, talk about what you need to talk about your desires, what you want for your lives, what you want for your family's lives, what do you want for the future, what is missing in your life right now that this government gets to actually support and push for you to create, to have, or find another job, you know, and be prepared for the long haul. This is going to take some time. This is going to take time and work, because, you know, it's long overdue, and so many people have slept and let so many things go by that we've got a lot of work to do. So be prepared for the long haul. And, you know, protest doesn't always have to look like you going in the streets. Protest is like we get to live in protest. You know, we get to be uncomfortable, live in protest, so we can get what we want by the end of the day.
Right.
Which is in the future. The end of the day is not the day I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the future. By the end of the day, by the end of your lifetime, what have you produced for you to stand up? Because we need our warriors, man. We need our warriors. We need people who know how to, like, strategize and know how to be productive and know how to push for their agendas. Because let me tell you, these people, this is what they do. They push their agendas.
Yep, they do.
And it's sickening.
And keep playing. And in a couple of years, we're gonna be paying for air. I mean, I remember
and water.
laughing. I remember laughing about, oh yeah, you know, water's free. Oh, you want me to pay for water? Now we pay for water. It's not free. So sooner or later, we're gonna be paying for air. Everyone's gonna be walking around putting air in their unit, in their apartments or their houses and stuff like that. Walking around with gas masks. You gotta pay for air. You gotta pay for water. You gotta pay for everything.
They got an air bar in Vegas already. Did you see that?
No, get out of here.
I swear to God, an air bar. Sit up on a stool and pay for some air.
I can't. They don't have any liquor there.
Yeah, right. And the thing is that
Kellen was thinking about it, like, if they got liquor there, you know.
Liquor in the air. The other thing, though, people also can realize, like, if, you know, some people are not the type to go out and protest and be on the street. Be creative. You can protest through your art. You can protest through photography, through writing, through pictures, music.
Don't support those industries that don't support your views and your ideas. Right. If you're with Verizon and they're pushing hard and they want to switch.
Right.
Don't stay with Verizon.
Susan Sarandon had said it best when the Dakota Pipeline was happening at protests, and when they found out the people who were invested in the pipeline there are certain banks that are invested. She said to divest if you happen to have an account with one of them. So, for example, like a Bank of America, and I believe it was one of them, take your money out. Tell them I don't stand for this. This is not what I stand for. And if people collectively do it, it impacts them.
That's the thing. If we collectively, like it's a collective. I think Max said it best when he was like, we have to have that ant mentality. You know, I'm small, but I got like 100,000 of my little other small friends with me, and we can move one tiny crumb together.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So we have that ant mentality. We could do it, you know, but we don't move that way. And then all those promises about the pipeline that it's gonna be made from metal and steel, forged from this country, lies, not true.
That's not even guaranteed. That's not true.
No, it's not happening.
Not true.
It's
wrong.
Not happening. Because wrong, fake news,
alternative facts.
Because so like all these promises, we gotta stop. We gotta stop being so I don't know, easily diverted from our direction. You know, I mean, if somebody promises you the moon and the stars, you got to really kind of think: is it really feasible? Is it really feasible? You know, if it hasn't happened in 100 years, is it really going to happen now? From this one guy that has no political background, no no history in changing anything, or no history of one successful business. He doesn't have the history of one successful business. So for him to say that he's going to treat America like a business so that we can earn and gain the money that we have lost under the Obama administration, that's a daggone lie. I mean, you would never invest in a failing company, right?
But not only that, he's got 3 bankruptcies. He claimed bankruptcy 3 times.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
How is that someone who's thriving? And he just got sued for the Trump University fraud.
Yeah, that's one of those things.
He settled out of court right before he became president.
Yep, he sure did. And I wish I signed up for that university because I'd have been so.
Well, but there's one person in that settlement that's about to because might defunct that settlement because one person now wants to actually sue him individually, and by her doing so will defunct the settlement. It's really interesting. You can catch that online, but and she's a lawyer too. She signed up for these classes.
Good for her.
She didn't realize how bogus. Yeah.
Good for her. Yep. Well, guys, I'm going to make my exit. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Alchemist Rose is out.
Deuces, Coach Easy got to go too.
I thought Coach Easy was in for the long haul. What happened?
Come on, when we supposed to protest?
Oh, okay, yo, I'm right here.
Yeah, I leave before the protest. See you after all that shit talking. Yeah, protest, guys, I'm out.
Yo, that's like the what's that movie? Yeah, Hollywood Shuffle. Gotta go.
It's true. No, but for real though, I do gotta exit. So keep it real. Talk to y'all later.
We're gonna post
you. Alchemist Rose. Thank you for blessing us.
Yeah, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, my sister.
I'll catch y'all next show.
All right, people.
I also like the Lakers.
What? Something's wrong with you, I swear.
I learned that one from Mac Peasy.
Why you gotta blame it on me, man?
Yeah, he always blames it on somebody.
Hey, blame it on the rain.
Keep the conversation going. Make people keep talking, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Deuces.
All right, later.